My name is Agustin Constante. I'm a Madrid municipal police officer and a pilot in the air support section. I am going to tell you about the origins of the section, our evolution, our technical and human resources, and how we collaborate with other units and emergency agencies. I will also tell you about the circumstances that make our work special, the main services we perform, the professional and the human value of my colleagues, and how we try to make a positive impact on the lives of the citizens of Madrid. The good part of the job, without doubt, is the spectacular views that the city provides. Madrid, capital of Spain, with a population of more than 3 million inhabitants and almost 7 million, including its metropolitan area, is the second most populated city in Europe. It occupies an area about 600 square kilometers, in which there are 22 police districts. The air support section operates in all of them. The Madrid Municipal Police, with around 600 officers, attends to emergencies on a daily basis, as well as a large number of scheduled events. Due to its status as a capital city, there are large mass gatherings such as demonstrations, sporting and cultural events. It also has a large number of parks, including the Casa de Campo, which with its 17 square kilometers of surface area, it's 5 times larger than Central Park in New York, could be considered an entity within the metropolis. The not so good part of the job, the less good but absolutely necessary part, is the amount of painstaking administrative work that has to be done to get everything right. It is the least visible and the most delicate. It includes prior flight coordination with the authorities concerned and permanent contact with the airport operators during flights. Due to the special characteristics of Madrid, its interior area corresponds to controlled airspace. This space is affected by various air traffic management centers. On the other hand, we are affected by the activity of Adolfo Suárez Madrid-Barajas International Airport, which handles 50 million passengers a year, and on the other hand, Cuatro Vientos Airport, one of the oldest airports in Spain. The airspace of the Torrejón de Ardoz military base, which is the largest in Spain, and the Getafe military base also converge. In addition, there are several restricted flight areas corresponding to the Defense High Command, the Royal Household, and the different national, regional, and local government institutions that are concentrated in the capital. To this, we must add the hospitals and infrastructure with heliports. All these complexities have led units to establish protocols for action and communication channels with the different organizations involved, both in airspace management and critical infrastructures, in order to generate clear workflows with the low flights to be coordinated safely. Bearing in mind that on occasions, emergencies are attended to that require the immediate involvement of all of them. Before carrying out an air operation, unless it is an emergency, we coordinate it with all the organizations affected. During the year 2021, the air support section has successfully carried out more than 70 air coordination operations and around 400 flights without any incident. The most stimulating part of the job is definitely being able to provide an extra layer of security to the citizens with our service. Our work gives a different point of view to many police interventions and put aid where our colleagues need them. We provide images in real time so that the units involved in an event can make decisions optimizing the time and quality of response. We are a small specialized unit formed by police officers who also hold the title of an emergency drone pilot. The members of this unit also have backgrounds in other areas that complement our work, forming a cohesive and highly specialized team, capable of responding to the range of professional challenges that arise on a daily basis. The unit includes specialists in computer science, investigation, 3D photographic mapping, intelligence, aviation law, engineering, mechanics, and environmental protection. In addition, the members of the air support section are in continuous training, and in the addition to the qualification courses for the piloting of each model used for the service, they receive training in specific software and participate in meetings with other emergency services and agencies in which they can exchange knowledge and experience to later incorporate them into their operations. What we do? Well, what we do, I will give you a clue, is not only fly. The first answer will probably be flying, but in order to be able to respond to the complexity of the demands of a city like Madrid, we have had to adapt to its standards, so the air support section carries out its tasks in different areas. Behind each air operation, there is a coordination work, a meticulous inventory control, as well as a revision of the mechanics of the aircraft. It carries out its functions in a transversal manner, providing technical support to the other units of the municipal police corps, as well as to the emergency agencies of the Madrid City Council, and, if requested, to other authorities. Well, as a flight operator, the section generates its own flight plans and air coordination with airspace managers, both civil and military, as well as with respective infrastructures that may be affected in each of the scheduled flights. It also maintains a fluid collaborative relationship with the Spanish Aviation Safety Agency and is informed of all air operations authorized for operators and private individuals in the city of Madrid. In this way, we have real-time information, and we can report to our colleagues on the street when a police patrol detects a flight. Another of the functions within the operations of the air support section is to provide practical support at events. In addition to the drones, by means of a portable neutralization device. This device consists of a wide emitter that makes it possible to inhibit an intruder drone that represents a threat. It should be pointed out that, given the characteristics of the city of Madrid, it is not possible to carry out flights to individuals or companies unless they have been authorized and coordinated with the corresponding authority. This anti-drone device is deployed in large crowds of people, in demonstrations or musical events, and is always available at the request of other units when a sighting occurs, particularly in the proximity of strategic buildings. Well, in the area of investigations, the perpetrator of any offense that comes to our attention by any means are investigated and reported to the competent authority. We have equipment, software, and specialized staff to carry out photogrammetry tasks and produce 3D plans of areas. These tools are very useful, for example, for the reconstruction of accidents or studies of damping in the environment. We advise in real time any patrol that requires our help in matters related to our specialty or any unit that requires our services. We develop protocols for the Madrid Municipal Police in matters related to our area of work. And finally, we collaborate with other police and emergency forces in joint operations, making our technology and knowledge of the environment available to them. We regularly train to acquire skills in the use and deployment of our equipment. And sometimes we do this with units with which we normally collaborate as a way of optimizing coordination in real situations. We participate directly in various European projects, such as the FASTER project, which researches and develops a set of solutions to first responders in emergency situations. The Aladdin project for the study, design, development, and evaluation of an anti-drone system, as well as in the advisory board of the USEPE project, US Space Operation in Europe. We also participate in the technical advisory forums for national drone legislation. Well, how do we do it? The technical resources at our disposal allow us to meet the requirements of any police operation in which we participate. We have a total of 22 drones which respond to the different technical service needs that may arise. Thus, some are prepared to fly in enclosed spaces, others are equipped with thermal cameras, others have devices that allow us to automatically count the number of people in a place or read number plates. There is also an hybrid drone, which is powered by fuel and electricity, which weighs 18 kilograms and has a flight range of up to 4 hours. Specifically, we have two DJI Mavic Mini, whose lightness allows us to deploy very quickly with optimal safety conditions. We have 4 GDU Saga equipped with loudspeakers and 40x camera and infrared camera. We have 5 DJI Enterprise Mavic Pro. They are the basic aircraft that we use in any contingency. Its lightness for transport, its speed of deployment, and its performance make it the basic equipment which we always operate. The versatility of its dual infrared camera and the various payloads, such as spotlights or public addresses system, have been very useful in a wide range of services. A parachute is always a plus that allows us to fly safely in crowded environments. For more complex operations, we make good use of the DJI Madrid, equipped with loudspeakers, a spotlight for night operation, or a 30x camera. We also have 7 Tira. These are military technology drones that include a 40x camera and an OCR number plate recognition system for artificial intelligence capable of counting the number of people in a location. For the indoor operations, we also deploy an Helios, which is a drone specially prepared for this purpose and covered with a spherical carbon fiber structure. The largest piece of equipment at our disposal is an hybrid drone weighing 18 kilograms, which has a flight range of around 4 hours. In addition to this equipment, we also have an Elister system that continuously supplies electricity, which allows us to fly a captive drone without interruption, portable power generating equipment, as well as individual equipment for transmitting images in real time to our operational commander center. Well, how do we work with others? As I have already mentioned, what gives meaning to our work is to complement the needs of the different police units involved in an operation. We have been able to add our particular point of view throughout this time in all the operations we have been involved in. But well, let me show you some of them. The first one is the eviction from La Dragona. This was the name given to this occupant municipal building in order to execute the judicial sentence of eviction. Our central security units carried out an operation. We collaborated with them by providing information from inside, covering the position, illuminating the interiors with spotlights, and reporting any contingency in real time. So, another intervention was the winter storm Filomena. With the arrival of the pandemic, after the I have a technical problem. As I said, with the arrival of the pandemic, after the Spanish government declared a state of alarm, followed by lockdown, the air support section was deployed through the public address system installed on the drone, citizens could be informed, reminding them of the regulation or transmitting instructions. Large areas of the city were also monitored using the drone. This operation was repeated after the last winter storm, named Filomena, when all public parks were closed for damage assessment. The operation in Cañada Real, it was a joint operation with the National Police. I think it must work now. Yeah. In this operation, that was a joint operation with National Police, we participated in the investigation and exploitation phase of a joint operation between the Madrid Municipal Police and the National Police. In this operation, we used equipment with infrared cameras that allowed us to provide coverage to the officers operating on the ground, as well as to detect drug plantations. The rastro. With the relaxation of measures restricting personal mobility as a result of the COVID-19 pandemic, public spaces that had been closed for months began to open up. This opening was subject to health regulations prohibiting crowds and establishing capacity limits even in open spaces. One of Madrid's emblematic spaces that reopened was El Rastro. It's an open-air flea market that is held every Sunday morning on public holidays in a historic neighborhood in the Central District. It is home to around 3,500 stands. As a support for decision-making from the ground, through the visual perspective offered in real time by the drones of the air support section, every Sunday, the commanders in charge of the event can determine in which areas access should or should not be restricted. The next slide is the gas explosion in Toledo Street. On 20 January 2021, at around 3 o'clock in the afternoon, a building in the center of Madrid exploded due to a gas leak. The explosion left a desolated scene. 4 people were dead, and many homes had to be evacuated, including an old people's home. All the available personnel of our air support section were put to work from the very first minute at the disposal of the huge fire and civil protection team that was trying to contain the situation. For 8 uninterrupted hours, we flight our teams at the request of the fire chiefs. First of all, we searched for possible victims inside the ruined building, combining floor by floor with infrared cameras. This was done with the DJI Enterprise Mavic 2 Pro and its dual infrared camera. This avoided the need for canine units to enter the interior of the building with a high risk of collapse. Immediately afterwards, we deployed the matrice which we used to obtain the images requested by the firefighters in order to assess the integrity of the building. With the high-powered spotlights of the aircraft, we were providing coverage until well into the night to the firefighters who were clearing the debris from nearby roofs. In the following days, we continued to collaborate with the Madrid City Council firefighters in the internal inspection with the Helios, as you can see in the images, with the infrared camera and with the normal camera. This mission was definitely the thorough test that the unit was subjected to, and in which it was demonstrated that the combination of technology and training reduces the human risk in the rescue test. Once again, we saw that a change of perspective can help to solve problems. The next slide. This slide is, sorry, it's going a little bit slow. This slide is about the curfew closure downtown, one of the public health measures due to the pandemic that police forces must monitor is the current prohibition of staying in the street without a justified cause after 11 o'clock at night. The central area of Madrid concentrates a large number of leisure establishments and tourist accommodations. For this reason, during the weekends, the Madrid municipal police officers are deployed and we collaborate with them through the use of the public address system and the real-time image that is transmitted to the operational command center to help in the decision-making progress. In this slide, you can see another collaboration with firefighters. We supported the Madrid City Council firefighters as a result of a fire on the top floor of a building. We used our drones to provide real-time images to the fire brigade so that they could assess the structural damage. This slide is was took in 24 June, St. John's Day, patron saint of the Madrid Municipal Police. In 2020, it was celebrated in the historic Retiro Park. On this special day for us, in addition to the presentation of decorations and remembrance of those who have fallen in the line of duty, the authorities wished to pay tribute to the service carried out by the municipal police during the pandemic. We took part in the surveillance of the event, providing an unusual view of it. A different point of view always offers another perspective on the problem. As you can see, finally, here's a video in which you can see the different point of view we offer. In this case, we used two drones, one placed at the line of sight and the other one doing a zenithal plane. With it, you can appreciate the difference that perspective offers when it comes to establish, for example, the density of people in a place. This is the Puerta del Sol, and in this case, it was the center of Madrid, specifically one of the most crowded areas. We filmed Preciados Street, which is next to Puerta del Sol, and is the third most densely populated street in Europe in terms of pedestrian density per hour. It arrives until 10,000 of pedestrians per hour. In this way, our commanders can make decisions in real time that have a direct impact on the well-being of citizens, as the mobility is not affected unless it is essential for COVID-19 prevention purposes on this case. As you can see with the zenithal plane, the street is not so full as it seems in the line of sight. Well, this is all. Thank you for your attention.